Can you speak into how are you respectful when you don't think that he is acting worthy of that respect?
Well, let me ask you, ma'am. How do you do when you feel like having sex with another woman and you're not married to her? What should you do? What do you do if you feel like stealing and something's right in front of you? What do you feel like driving 110 miles an hour in a 15-mile-an-hour zone? What if I feel about all that? Well, the answer is very clear. It doesn't matter what you feel. You do the right thing. What if I don't feel like respecting your husband? So what? Show him some respect. That's because the Bible tells us to do it. That's all you got to do.
You can act respectfully without feeling respectful.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you feel. I ever so feel. I don't feel. I'm so sick of these feelings. Seriously. I wouldn't do anything.
Well, she goes to work. So
I wouldn't do anything. I don't feel like doing anything.
I know you don't.
I'm the laziest man I know. Now, I work really hard. I travel work. I do all that, but I don't feel like doing anything.
Yep.
People say, do you really like
traveling?
I don't ask myself that question. I don't think about it.
No.
You know what I do? I want to sit on my boat all the time and do nothing. But I want to move that boat to Florida.
Yeah, and then sit on it all the time.
Because Wisconsin weather's horrible.
What I was going to say is that she clearly has a job. She says that she goes out and does all of this, and he does nothing.
He gets
she
disability.
Must treat her. Well, that's what he's paying part of the. No, but I was going to say.
But wait a minute. Why don't I have to pay for everything? Half of everything.
She's paying half of it.
What do you think she's going to do? You got a husband and you go, I pay for half of everything. Oh, how horrible is that?
No,
what does she think?
Yeah, I get it.
She doesn't get it.
Okay, so she has a
talks
job.
About him more like he's a roommate.
Yeah, she has a job, and I wonder if she always feels respectful towards her boss, because I don't know, there's some days that I don't necessarily feel like being
Shut
respectful.
Up over there.
No, I'm serious. I don't feel like being respectful at times, but I always act respectfully. Do I not?
You always feel respectful, because I walk in the room, and what do?
I go, wow. That wasn't directed towards you today, by the way. But you're interrupting my point.
She's talking to Phil earlier, and Phil must have said something. And she goes, wow. All I know is I walk in the door. She goes, wow. I said, now that's what I'm talking about.
There's more
that's
to
a greeting. That's the way you welcome a man when he walks in the room. Wow.
Okay.
No, I know she knows
she can
that.
treat her boss respectfully.
Do you take care of your children when you don't feel like taking care of your children? I mean, here's the thing. These women, they get that. They treat their boss with respect whether or not they feel like it. They help their children whether or not they feel like it. They clean the toilet. Who thinks, oh, man, I can't wait to clean the toilet. Oh, it really moves my soul. I just love to. They do all kinds of things whether they feel like it. But when it comes to respecting their husband, what is it? I don't feel like it. There, that's my answer to you.
Okay.
Give me a new email.
No. Can I say one more thing? Because actually my brain came to life now. we hit record. I was half asleep before that.
All right.
Okay, so when these women say, but I'm not his mother kind of thing, and they don't like that.
Let me tell you what that is. They are being, in essence, the most disrespectful they can be.
Yes.
The Bible says, be respectful. She knows that. I don't want to be, so I'm not his mother. All you're doing is showing me how disrespectful of a woman you are. When you're saying, I don't have to be your mother, what you're doing, ladies, you're being as disrespectful as you can be to the man. It's only a sign. It's like these women who argue about, my husband must be more spiritual than me. The minute anyone argues about who's more spiritual proves they are the most unspiritual people on the earth. Yeah. You know what a spiritual person does? They never point out how spiritual they are. They don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Who thinks? It's like, I'm the most humble person I know, and you should be more humble than me. How come you're not as humble as I? Because I'm really incredibly humble.
Have you ever had people say that? I've actually had people say that.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I do that as a joke.
To goodness, I have had people in all sincerity tell me about how humble and how much humility they have.
Oh, man, I would fall on the floor laughing.
Yeah, honestly.
That people are crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you say, I'm not his mother, you are, in fact, being exactly what the Bible says you should not be. Well, now, you don't have. If you don't want to do anything about it, that's between you and God. But don't give me all your blah, 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 and I don't feel like, and he's a this, and he's a big poopy head. The bottom line is you are disrespectful. You are disrespectful. It's like switch it to a guy who wants to cheat on his wife. These other women are nicer to me, and, my wife dresses like, she belongs to the Taliban at night. I want to go out and, do the wild thing with other women, and I can't help it. Well, every woman in the world says, that's crazy. But as soon as you put it on the woman's side, well, I shouldn't have to respect him. He should. No, it goes both ways.
I shouldn't have to remind him. I shouldn't have to babysit him. I shouldn't have to. But this is the point I wanted to make.
Okay.
Speaking of what the Bible says, doesn't it say that God said it wasn't good for man to be alone.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, he needed somebody to help him and remind him and to do all those things. So they get so mad they have to do the very things that apparently God thought he needed to have. And they're mad about it.
Okay. But again, you use the analogy of the workplace, okay? Mm-hmm. You are one of the people who reminds me of everything.
Oh, yes, I do.
Follows me around.
Oh, yes, I do.
Don't do this.
Oh, yes.
Quit saying that. Blah, 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 blah. You're not my mother.
No.
I don't even think in terms of my,
And I never think that.
Oh, I'm not his mother. You're the helper. That's what I pay you to do.
Isn't that what the
millions
woman
of dollars
was created for?
Millions of dollars I pay her.
Yeah. Was it a woman created to be the
a very,
helper?
very long
period of time.
If I live to be 507, I will
millions
amass millions.
In Zimbabwe dollars.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Yeah.
I mean, if this lady was working for a guy and he was a personal assistant to a man, she would remind him. She would follow. That's what they do. Yeah. But they never think, I'm being disrespectful. I'm not his mother. That's what you're paid to do. Why is it when you come to your husband, suddenly what you can do for everybody else you can't do anymore? What you do is you fall right back into disrespect, just like some guy falls right back into lusting after other women. It goes both sides. So it doesn't matter what you feel. Just do the right thing.